1953 was a huge year for dive watches, with the first release of the Rolex Submariner and the Blancpain 50 Fathoms. But did you know there was another brand with a just as popular release and was a little bit more expensive than the 50 Fathoms? This is why we need to talk about Zodiac. Let's get into it. Yes! Welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. So today we are talking about a brand with a big history. In fact, the brand was founded in 1882. That's a lot of years. Anyway, after World War II, scuba diving became a very popular sport.
Obviously with the yuppies of that time.
Now, the Seawolf from Zodiac was very high regarded in the diving circles. It was popular also because the Seawolf's size was similar to an everyday watch at that time, say 35mm in diameter. Believe it or not, but many people didn't like the oversizedness of the Submariner or the Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Zodiac remained a very respectable company, making proper tall dive watches. And in the 60s, Zodiac became known for their adventurous dials, exotic colours, and made them really stand out from the rest. All good news so far, isn't it? But wait, the 1970s are slowly on their way. And like many brands with the quartz revolution, Zodiac went and there it lay dormant for decades. Now, do you guys remember a brand called Fossil? Now, I remember them back in the 90s for making hideous fashion watches like this. They made sweet millions making fashion watches to the world and decided in 2001 to buy Zodiac. And they bought the rights, the branding and the whole caboodle for $4.7 million. With a dive history of the likes of Rolex, to me that sounds pretty cheap. Anyway, fair play to Fossil, because without them we would not have Zodiac now. These brand new Zodiacs are Swiss made and they absolutely ooze. That's a horrible word. But they are layered and layered and layered with all the good vintageness of the old Zodiac days. Now, thanks to Francis & Gay Jewelers, who are now an authorised dealer of Zodiac, I've got two brand new watches to show you. A Super Seawolf 1953 compression and another Super Seawolf 53. And the question we have to ask today is, are these reinterpretation of Zodiac watches worth having a look at and worth buying? Also, at the end of the show, we'll find out what the wife thinks. Are you Zodiac ready? Let's go! So here they are, and may I say, what a beautiful couple of watches these are. Straight away I'm thinking this could be the most popular watch enthusiast brand on the market right now. I say that because of their complete vintage look. These watches are straight out of the 50s and 60s, aren't they? Both watches look supremely well made, and both do have rather thin lugs. They may well fit smaller than the dimensions suggest. I'm looking at them and I don't know which one I prefer. Obviously the 53 compression is more colourful and is a bit more playful, but you guys know I'm really into my tool watches, and this 53 limited edition really would look good in my collection. But first impressions on both watches, these are the real deal. Quick specs. Check! We've got a great 40mm diameter, 13mm thick, 47 lug to lug, and a Strapaholic 20mm lug width. We've got a 39mm case, 13 thick, just under 47 lug to lug, and again a 20mm Strapaholic lug width. Both watches' dials are protected by a sapphire, slightly domed crystal with under AR coating. Both have a beautiful domed screw-down crown at 3 o'clock, and with a screw-down case back, both watches are water resistant to 200 meters.
Spot on.
The case finishing is very similar to each other. We do have a bit more of a blingy look on the colourful 53 compression. There's polishing on those lugs, whereas the skin LE is an all brushed affair. And the case backs, I've got to say, oh no! Darling, I've just been nipped by the evil squirrel in the back garden trying to eat all our nuts. I think it's bleeding. I think I need a plaster. He's got the better of me this time. And welcome to another edition of the Design House, where we take a look at a watch's case back. And today, a set of Zodiacs, Swiss and full of history. Let's take a look. So first, the skin diver. And this is a very simple affair, isn't it? With brushing in the middle and polishing around the outsides. No display case back, that's fine, that's fine. Not all watches can be perfect. This is limited to only 500, and you can see this is 350 of 500, so a very exclusive club. There's a little bit more going on with the compression watch. There's more brushing and frosting in the middle with the Zodiac logo, but I have to say this is a far prettier one than the one before. I must say I really do love the vintage look, something I must pursue more in 2023. Yes. That's it from me, and I'll see you next time for another edition of the Design House. Cut. Where's my Nerf gun? That squirrel's gonna get it!
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Both bezels are 120 click unidirectional ones. Again, there's a blingy polishing to the coin edging of this one. There's a mineral glassy insert, which I guess is supposed to look a little bit like the Bakelite bezels of the old days. The limited edition is a stainless steel matte finish. Both have loom plots at the 12 o'clock triangle, and I guess we should see how they do in the World Bezeling Federation. Hi, I'm Kurt Santana, and welcome to the world of the Bezeling Federation, dedicated to finding the best bezel on a watch. 3 rounds: the look, the grip, and the fidgetability. Let's get a bezeling. Both of these watches have beautiful vintage inspired bezels. Reminds me of the good old days when I could run. There's more of a tooly look to the Skin Diver, whereas the compression is more blingy and more of a first date kind of watch. Onto the grip, and because the Skin Diver has a brushing to that coin edge, I get a far better grip than this blue number. And onto the fidgetability. How much do I want to twist these bezels morning, noon, and night time? The Skin Diver is slightly looser, and because of the brushing on the coin edge, I just want to twist this thing till it falls off. So that puts these two Zodiacs on our leaderboard for 2022. Bye bye, bezel lovers. Let me give you a listen. But because of the polishing on the grip, it's not massively easy to twist. Whereas the Skin Limited Edition is actually slightly looser than the other one, but the grip is far better. Onto the bracelets, and these two are completely different animals. Let's have a look at the Jubilee style on the compression. And because the outside links are brushed against the polishing of the lugs, doesn't match perfectly well for me. We do have a very well made butterfly clasp, and look at this, the clasp is spring loaded. If your wrist was to expand on a hot summer's day, I'd say you've at least got 4mm to play with there. Onto the Skin Diver, and it's more of a 3-link oyster style. I like the rivet look to it as well. From what I can see, both bracelets have push pins. However, once you do adjust the bracelet, those pins will be solid. We have a milled clasp with a fold over security. I would say that this clasp is very difficult to get your nail under, but overall, a couple of very well made bracelets. Okay, let's look at the faces.
Dials time.
And I have to say, I'm more drawn to the compression dial. I really do love that white chapter ring, which pulls in that dial to make it a little bit smaller, and also that quintessential 60s look to the applied markers. Awesome big solid applied Zodiac logo. What you do have on this watch is a date window, and I think they really have missed a trick with not colour matching that deep blue with the date wheel. It's more simple on the Skin Diver. I do love those upside down triangles at the 12, 3, 6 and 9 which are applied. I've never really liked dolphin hands on a sports dive watch personally. However, this is the most truest to the original. So we've got loom on the arrow markers, loom on the handset, and loom on the bezel pips. Let's see, out of 10, which one of these glows the best. And I have to say it's the compression that wins again. That bright green superluminova really shines through. However, I really do like the vintage style and look of the Skin Diver, but if you want to rely on a watch in the dark, this is the one. Powering both of these watches is an STP-111. As far as I can tell, STP stands for Swiss Technology Production, and Fossil actually owns this company. So it's basically an in-house movement. Both have 28,800 beats per hour, 44 hours of power reserve. The winding of both these watches are really nice. An STP-111 has an accuracy of plus to minus 20 seconds a day. Again, because the coin edging on the Skin Diver is brushed, it's a much more satisfying twist. Not only hand winding, but both have hacking. Not having to change a date on the Skin Diver is very appealing.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and these watches are absolutely perfect, aren't they? Because of those very thin lugs and the way they slope down, this watch does look smaller than the 39-40mm diameter suggests. On wrist, this has confirmed my extra love for the compression watch because I do love a smaller dial. So, as I said, the Skin Diver is limited to only 500 units. I'm not sure why. I think this could be quite a popular watch. For a company that first formed in the 1800s, an in-house movement with all the looks and the charms that us watch lovers are really after, I think it's got a lot going for it. £1,029. If you look at the whole package, that's a pretty good deal. The slightly blingier looking non-limited edition is £1,249. Definitely enough differences on these two watches for you to own both, but if I had to choose one, it would be this one. It sure would increase the colour palette of my watch collection. Overall, I'm so glad that Francis & Gay sent these in to me, and I guess it's a big thank you to the Fossil Group for buying Zodiac and bringing back a hugely historic brand. And if I saw someone wearing this watch, I would have to think to myself, this guy likes watches. Honestly, I've had a great time with these watches, and I wish the brand Zodiac all the best for the future. Keep pumping out the vintage. Here it is, my wife's first impressions of these two Zodiac beauties. Are we ready? No, don't like either of them. The first one has this matte bezel and it looks cheap. Also, the dial looks like it's full of icicles. This other one, I'm getting jacuzzi vibes, like I'm looking down on a jacuzzi. Not a fan of either. Brutal from the wife. If you've watched till the end of this show, thank you so much. You obviously are subscribed or have liked this show, yes? If you want a little bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, click the join button right there. And if I've got you for a few minutes, why don't you come over and watch this show? Oh, this was a good hair day. Come on watch this show. Great watch, great watch. Come on. You can get a drink. I can wait, yeah. No, I can't really wait, no. I've got to be somewhere myself. So click it. Go on, click it. Click it!